Prompt two. Oh, it's a cool softbox. Might be too bright though. Prompt two video about life. I was just I was just I just finished a run, 5 mile run. Felt great. Kept my mind wandering. And I think I wanted to talk about therapy. I think therapy is like major key. That's what I was listening to. Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. He was talking to the CEO or the founder of Shopify, and he was telling me like I always think of this question, or I always hear this question out loud of how do you, or maybe it's just me. I'm just fascinated on how do you get rich? How do you get rich? How do you make impact? All the above. And I think the biggest issue that most people have is they're just not doing it for the right reasons. Like in the past couple months, I've been meeting a lot of financial influencers, really. Uh, I've been meeting a lot of financial influencers. Shout out to Salary Transparent, Hannah and James. Just asking people about how much they make and what are their professions. And I've been watching on TikTok, American Income, that group. I don't know their names, but the common trend that I have is for people who make high incomes, for example, lawyers, doctors, most engineers type of stuff, like they went to school for a long time. Maybe not engineers or IT. That's probably the biggest shortcut where you can get a certification, kind of work your way up. Maybe sales, I'm thinking. But I think it takes like 10 years. 10 years to do great and own your business. Because I feel like as a doctor, you own that skill of knowing how to be in the surgical room. And the lawyer, you know how to work your way around legal jargon, whatnot. And as an entrepreneur, you have to learn your operations, you have to learn your marketing, and you have to learn sales. Like figure out what works best for you uh, in the right time. And I think about uh, full circle, like therapy. I had to learn my weaknesses because I remember I had a fight with my girlfriend, an argument about like I'm not the best person to bring her up when or just naturally ever. And normally in business, I never had to do it. Like in the Marine Corps, we all go through boot camp, so we all have to go through some shit to know we're bonded. Like my brother and sister to the left and right of me, we all went through the same shit, or we're all going through the same shit together. So we know we came from the same. We all came from the mud, for a lack of terms. Uh, but in business, it's different. If you're ground level, you'll never understand the culture of the C-suite people unless it's a really damn good business. That's what I've learned. And that's really what I've been consulting for these small organizations that have been reaching out to me, or I've reached out to them and now they've wanted me to be a part of their team, whether I'm the director of marketing or whatever. It's just that I know how to get a clear message across to the masses because I think about the customers as an end goal now, or more than the C-suite people, because they're so used to talking B2B, business to business people, that they just talk logistics like here's the bottom line. Don't you agree? Easy, boom. But when you're talking to customers, they their day to day isn't business. So you have to talk to them in a way that hits them emotionally. Like you have to connect to them first. full circle right there is, how do you solve their problem? Kind of like B2B, where you figure out what's in it for them. The customer wants to know what's in it for them, but they need to feel the reason why, and just be a little bit more emotional and authentic to what you're speaking about. Like this. I have I have this is like uh brain fog. Post nut clarity, but post run clarity. uh and I think I forgot his name already. Harley Finkelstein, a Canadian entrepreneur who started, or who's now the president of Shopify. He talks about resiliency as a person to make it through. And I'm a person who likes to relate things to make things simpler for myself, and usually it makes it simpler for my audience. So, and I think of resiliency, I think of military, of that going through the same mud. I was watching Lil Dicky. Yeah, Lil Dicky or Dave. Yeah, Dave on Hulu. I think last week, that season where Lil Dicky or Dave was meeting. Got Rick. Spoiler alert. I'm talking about the season. I think it was episode 4 where he meets Rick Ross, gets his chain, and uh and has to get it back. But a whole back story is he's gonna meet Killer Mike, and because Killer Mike is so into the black scene culture, like, and Dave's obviously a white guy. He's like, am I not good for the culture? Am I not welcome in the black community? And then in the end, it just was a misunderstanding where he didn't know anything about this guy, or he didn't know anything about Lil Dicky. But he learned that like chains are it's like a sign of respect in the black in the black community, and I think it varies, like just how status is with businesses and IBIDA, or uh, just what you do on the normal, whether you go to the country club or I was explaining this to my girlfriend too. Is like in the Lunar New Year cultures of Asian communities, they instead of saying Happy New Year, I forgot the translation that the Chinese say it, but it means I hope you get rich. So in most cultures that I know, or that I'm aware of, have some sort of status behind it. And that's why for me growing up, it's like my parents always wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer, type of stuff. Not just for the money, like the money comes, but they were more interested to know that their son, um, or children become something of status so they can brag. And I think in the Asian culture, it's more of a, or I think most parents do this, where they use their children as trophies. And I think more and more younger generations from the baby boomer era, or the children of baby boomers, kind of push that along to the people, or push along in society, where you have to live up to some certain expectations. The biggest message that I got today during my run was, I'm not sure if the term is consistency or if it's discipline, but the definition behind that, what I'm trying to get at is, it's something that it's something that you'll still do when the cameras are off, or when nobody's watching you. It might be authenticity, actually, because if if these cameras weren't on, if this camera wasn't on to record me, I would still be trying to talk about this in conversation with my friends or with whoever would listen to me. And that's probably a good summary of my run. But for quick updates on life, we're going to be holding, I'm going to be holding a lot more events moving forward. There will be a open networking party for the DMV, specifically in the Moco area. If you're a business owner or if you want to just meet cool people, that's what I say. If you want to meet cool people, you'd be interesting yourself. And I think I have a pretty cool group of friends or interesting group of friends that you may want to meet. It's going to be at the Rockville Beer and Wine Cellar, May 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. And I'll see you there. Follow me on Facebook for more information or my website, briancmarty.com/events. And on June 4 or June 7th, I'm sorry, in Columbia, Lakeside Title, I'll be holding a first time homebuyer seminar for the Howard County area and TBA, Frederick County. I'm teaming up with S. I'm teaming up with Esses. I'm teaming up with EC's Tepper out in Frederick, and we're gonna find like a local brewery or something. Um, I'll announce it also on Facebook or my website, briansquare.com/events, and we're just gonna bring the community together. We're gonna get your money up. We're gonna meet some cool, interesting people, and enjoy life. I'll see you next time. Peace.